Hey y'all, welcome to Key is King. Today we are getting into the finale reunion episode, aka the very end of one of the best seasons of Housewives. Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, season 5, episode 19. And we are opening this episode with the non-grand entrance of Brittany. She was expecting a solo walk-in and acknowledgement, and they brought her in right after the break and said, sit the fuck down. Of course she mentioned it and had to complain about it out loud, but nobody even blinked twice. But Andy's getting into his opener little monologue, and Angie's just talking. Angie is literally just talking through his shit, and he's like, Angie, be quiet. Mary's like tapping her on the thing, and she's like, oh, sorry, Oopa. Opa. It was just very funny, Angie being Angie. She's just one of those people that has star quality just being herself. Very similar to Mary, but like in a very different way. And this leads us immediately into Brittany and Jared, Mr. Osmond himself. And so I guess they're broken up officially. Brittany seems to have a new attitude and is like very much done with Jared now. Who fucking knows? Or really cares, honestly. Like, she should be very happy that they gave her any time at this reunion. I mean, she did everything she possibly could to make this happen for herself, but my god. So they detail his rants on social media. He made some rants about Brittany, which are very ironic in that she like put him on the show, or like he's the whole reason she was on the show. Yikes. But they're going on and on about how he rants and how he does this and that and the third, which leads Bronwyn to talk about some text messages that he sent her. He was calling her a little bitch, said his dick was bigger than anybody she's ever been with, was just going in on her, like reading her down. I don't know if he has some sissy in his corner that helps him write text messages like this, but he read her down. And she's like, this is the man you're in love with and who you want to be with. And she's like, well, no, but okay. I was like, ooh, damn, girl. But they went on to detail how Jared had a pattern of like love bombing Brittany in between all of these rants and all of these breakups. And just how that clearly was a manipulation tactic, and how Brittany clearly falls for anything that looks and breathes at her. So of course this leads to a Bronwyn versus Brittany fight, because I think everybody who watches this show knows we were not leaving the reunion without this. And so they're getting into it, and to make this long story very fucking short, Brittany is now blaming Bronwyn for her daughters not talking to her. Sanity is not in the room with Brittany ever. Ever. She's claiming that Bronwyn had other people reach out and sit down with her daughters and explain that she is like a bad mom. Or some of the bad behavior she's had while on the show. Andy had to remind her and play the clip that her whole audition tape was about how her daughters don't talk to her. And she was laughing about that. Like, thought it was funny. Bitch, go to hell. Go to Mormon hell. And I'm sure it's worse than regular hell. Like, what are we doing? But she literally did... I don't know why Snapchat notifies you about random people posting shit. I don't care that he posted on his story. I don't. Anyway. She's just certifiably insane. She is still blaming Bronwyn for the fact that her daughters don't speak to her, and her daughters did not fuck with her well before Bronwyn even knew she existed. But that's the material we're working with when we talk about Weird Ass Brittany, and that's why I changed her legal name to Weird Ass Brittany. They get into a package of the religious hypocrisy, as I'm going to call it, which really involved Brittany mostly, and who else was in that package with her? Maybe Whitney, maybe Bronwyn. I don't know. Because we know we have a whole Mormon 2.0 thing going on over in the Salt Lake City Housewives. In my mind, they're a bunch of sinners. Mary even said it. She's like, well, she sins, talking about Brittany. And she does. But they go, because Brittany's whole fucking conniption fit this season was that Angie brought her wine to, like, her Bible study event, whatever the hell it was. And Angie's like, you drink alcohol every time I see you? I still don't see, like, what the big egregious thing is. But they get into Heather calling Brittany out on the after show about her hypocrisy, and Brittany is just going to die on the hill of it was so wrong and that blah 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 blah, but she was out here just showing the opposite sides of herself like every chance she got. She did it to herself, and I think she knows she did it to herself. And so this causes Lisa to chime in, and she's like, no, Brittany, I understand what you are. Like, I'm the same way, because Lisa is famously the one that even, like, kind of brought Mormon 2.0 to the forefront. So you have a mixed kind of reaction. A lot of the women, like Bronwyn, Angie, and Heather, are really being like, yeah, Brittany, you're a fucking hypocrite. And Lisa's trying to defend this whole Mormon 2.0 thing. And Brittany's trying to, like, come at Angie, and Angie's like, yes, I was raised Mormon, but I was not raised the type of Mormon you are. Get her. And Bronwyn has to remind Brittany that she seemingly can dish it out, but cannot take it. Specifically, she dishes certain shit out, and if it's copy-pasted, Uno reverse back to her, she, like, has a conniption fit. And that's very true, because they got into the whole slutty body count, high body count hair, who's a slut, who's not a slut. Brittany started that conversation, she started that language, she started that narrative, and they got super upset when Angie returned favor. And that's the perfect example. Meredith is like mad at Angie for like slut shaming her, not knowing what the fuck is going on. Like, Brittany causes so much chaos, damage, and like defamation really, and is being a hypocrite the whole time. And that's once again one of the worst types of people. The level of delusion. Like, just because you bathe in Denial River, like, does not mean I have to either. Like, get the fuck out of here with that. But that was Brittany in a nutshell. They all kind of have her pegged for who she is at this point. And so she can have all the fun she wants to trying to be in this group or infiltrate this group when she plays her cards so poorly. They then move on and pretty much end the reunion with the fallout from the Mexico trip. Because once again, that was the climax in such a explosive season. But Mexico did not disappoint. A Lisa Barlow trip did not disappoint. Shocker there. They opened this package with Bronwyn and Lisa because Bronwyn on this trip was trying to live in Lisa's asshole so desperately, it was really disgusting. Mind you, she should have been worrying about the fucking like antibacterial she needed for the dog bites in the attack that she suffered shortly before this trip, but she was so worried about Lisa. And as Lisa went on to explain, which she explained during the season in the episode, but re-emphasizes that Bronwyn was throwing a whole hissy fit, that she was not in the same room as Lisa, she wasn't next door to Lisa. Why would Lisa like shun her and banish her and put her on the side of the villa that she doesn't like have people she likes? She missed the whole fucking point that Lisa literally put her in the identical suite that she had as the host of the trip, aka like a presidential suite. That's what the fuck she put Bronwyn in, but Bronwyn is too fucking dense or dog bitten and bled out to realize what was happening. So I'm glad Lisa like reminded everybody, like, I put you in the best room on your side of a villa that you did not pay for. And you were mad. But that did lead them to talk about the dog bites and like how that all happened, and Bronwyn didn't like have the dog killed. She actually paid for it to get checked out and trained and all that stuff. But she was going on to educate what you should do if a dog attacks you, which are all the things that she did not do. And so Bronwyn goes on to say, like, you're supposed to, like, stick your finger in a dog's butt if it's attacking you, and that distracts it. When I tell you Mary Cosby was adamant that that is not what you do, she was like, that does not work. That does not work. She wants you to pull on its tongue and choke it like it's a fucking wildcat in the, like, jungle. Now, there was a story once upon a time of a man killing, like, a lion or a cheetah like that in Africa. He pulled on its tongue and suffocated it. But I don't think you should just be, like, doing that to any animal, especially somebody's, like, pet, possibly, that's attacking you. But then again, if an animal's attacking you, I guess it's you or them, right? So, between a butthole and a tongue, that can definitely stop a dog attack, according to the Real Housewives. But that shit had me dying because Mary was like, that doesn't work. Like, she's fingered a few dogs' butts before. So we have, like, the 100th Meredith and Angie argument that's starting to happen. And at this part of the reunion is when I started to check out. I love these ladies. This was a great season, but they're having the same fucking arguments over and over again. So I'm going to need Jen to get out of jail, or I'm going to need them to just like sprinkle some chaos into their next casting for next season, because I don't want to hear the same 5 fights over again. I'm telling you right now. But Meredith and Angie are going back and forth. Lisa interjects, which she tends to do. And Angie's like, does Meredith need help? Like, she's a fucking lawyer. I am a beauty school student. Like, I own hair salons. Does Meredith need help? She should be able to, like, fucking shut me up and shut me down and sit me down very easily. Like, does she need help? Like, am I some crazy threat? which is fucking funny because the self-deprecating but true read, my God. And she's not even trying. She's just literally just like spewing her thoughts, and you can tell. I love it, but she was like, what the fuck are you trying to jump me for? For what? But this is what I'm talking about. We have another Bronwyn versus Lisa fight, which I'm fucking over. They're fighting about the same shit continually. We get it. We get it. We lead to a Meredith versus Brittany fight, which obviously we're leading to the recording and what was happening with that. Brittany is continuing to lie. She will not own the truth. She just will not own it. So she's continuing to lie. Meredith is being like, okay. Everyone is like disgusted with the whole recording thing after the Jen Shah of it all, after the Monica of it all. They're all done with her, and Brittany just doesn't get it, apparently. Yeah, Brittany's still lying. Mary briefly described why she was like mad at Angie for checking on Brittany when she was upset after being caught, and she was like, it was just fake of Angie. Like, she doesn't even really fucking like her like that. Okay. Meredith reveals at some point that she talked to Jen Shah from jail. Heather was very fucking quiet during this, and noticeably quiet during this, and looked shamed during this. But Whitney's like, how is that different from me talking to Monica? But they were all, Meredith tried to defend herself. She's like, well, I didn't seek out Jen to like dig up dirt on everybody. But they were like, bitch, she talked about your children, which we know is a trigger. Talked about your business, your life. She lied to all of us. She defrauded millions of old people. She was like, this is worse. Jen tortured us way worse than Monica ever did, which I'm glad somebody said it. So that's a clusterfuck. They're jumping around back and forth, fighting with each other. Whitney is so insistent and obsessed with Lisa Barlow, and I'm going to claim that and confirm that for everybody who did not understand this already. She is so insistent on burning this shit with Lisa. Lisa blacks out. She doesn't hear anything. Lisa reveals that she's a child of 6 and could have been trafficked as a child because nobody paid attention to her, and she's always fighting for herself, and everybody was fucking her over. So she really unlocked the childhood trauma in that moment, and explained a little bit about why she is so fucking ticky boom and so like blackout emotional. But I was like, that is a storyline worth uncovering, and that somebody better dig into her life. But she said a lot. But Whitney was so insistent. She went to go sit next to her and hug her and like try to like talk it. But Lisa was really not hearing her, not having it at first. But they all ended with hugs and I love you even though we have these issues and yada yada yada. But Lisa was like, I do what I want to do. I'm going to do what I want to do. I don't care if I didn't play your game in Mexico about the text messages, because of course they talked about the text message game. And Heather was over there trying to whisper to Lisa about like how to apologize and how to move on. And she's like, stop talking to me. I don't want to hear anybody. I'm going to do what I want. She was almost trafficked as a child. She does not care what you have to say. But Whitney was trying to clear it or burn this shit with Lisa Barlow, and Lisa was not hearing it. So in the middle of Lisa trying to explain why she can't burn it, Whitney just moves on and she's like, Meredith, so do you want to fix our relationship then? Like, you want to burn it? Which was taking me out, because Lisa was literally still talking, and Whitney was like, this bitch is useless. Meredith, what about you? Oh, which they did, but I just thought that would tickle me so fucking much. But Lisa went on to detail her childhood trauma. She finally calmed the fuck down. They went around and did the reverse of the text message game and said something nice about somebody that they had opposing feelings with. Mary decided that she wanted Andy to do hers, and what Mary wants, she gets, and they all listened to her. But they brought the season to a close with a big jug of Miller's High Life because Mary discovered that she loved cold Miller's High Life. And that's how you end a season, with a relatable Mary moment. This season was gold. Oh, that reminded me. Whitney and Lisa agreed to have a ceasefire, but Lisa said the second you repeat it again, it's ignited. Gas. Gold and gas. That's how we're ending this reunion. But this season was truly iconic. It was amazing, and I'm thankful because this was the one franchise out of my review series that did not make me want to fucking break my laptop or computer most of the time. Laptop or computer. Or TV during the season. So thank you, Salt Lake City. Thank you to my viewers. Thank you to everybody who shows me support. Do not forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I will be back for more and some new stuff. So see you soon. Love you, bye.